Hello everyone, my name is Angelo and welcome to my channel. Today we are we're comparing these two very different guns, but not for the reason why you would think I'm comparing them. Basically what I'm going to talk about today is how do these guns complement to each other, I guess would be the best way to put it. And the way I see it is that, so basically I talked about this in my shield video, is that I strived away, or I went away from striker fired handguns because I kind of found them boring and they were starting to get too easy to shoot. Now, uh, primarily using double action, single action firearms, I have noticed a significant and drastic improvement in my ability to fire a striker fired firearm. Now, the reason for this, I believe, is the double action trigger pull requires you to have much better pistol fundamentals in order to hit a target. So, that old saying that if you want to be really good at shooting a pistol, to buy a double action revolver, I would argue to say that that's probably a fairly true statement, because a double action revolver can probably have anywhere from an 8-pound to 15-pound trigger pull. Now I believe this one has an 11-pound or 12-pound trigger pull. It's pretty decent weight, and yeah, and I do truly believe that ever since I've been shooting not striker fired, but hammer fired weapons, that I have significantly increased in my ability to shoot a striker fired pistol, especially a striker fired compact pistol. And this is something I'd kind of like to want to bring up. So if you're a newer shooter and you're struggling with a striker fired weapon, and you're like, for an example, if you bought the shield for the sense of carrying, but you're having a hard time hitting a target and you don't want to shoot the gun a lot because it's not fun to shoot at the range. I know, I've put 1,000 rounds through this weapon and it was not an easy 1,000 rounds to go through. Basically what you could do is you could go and pick up, a Beretta or this FN or CZ. CZs are about $400 to $500. They're fairly inexpensive, and buy a hammer fired one and practice on that. All three of those, or all three of these guns, all have double action, single action options. They also have single action only options, I believe. So just make sure you buy the right one, because if you buy a single action hammer fired gun, that kind of defeats the purpose. What you really want is the double action portion of this gun to teach you the better pistol fundamentals, or for you to reinforce yourself with better pistol fundamentals in order to hit your target. Now, if you want to buy a revolver instead, by all means go ahead and buy a revolver. For me, the thing is that now I have to add another caliber into my gun collection, and on top of that, revolver is usually only from 6 to 10 shots depending on the caliber and the size of the revolver, and I don't know if you want to reload that much, because that's one of those things where you have to pop open the cylinder and just put all the bullets in and close it, and then you're off to the races, which is simple and that's great and all, but depending on who the person is, right, I'm pretty sure that me doing 18 rounds of double action only with this weapon and just resetting the hammer every time before I take another shot is a much more time efficient way to practice your pistol fundamentals, in my opinion. Now, and on top of that, you're also staying within the same platform. You're not having to relearn a new platform, because I don't know if y'all know, but if you do your thumbs forward grip on a revolver, that's not going to be a great day because the cylinder here in the front is open. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for the most part, is that a nice quick little tip that if you want to get better at shooting firearms in general, and striker fired pistols are definitely easier to learn on because you have a very consistent trigger pull. They're all primarily the same weight, and when you're comparing inside the same sizes as well, and they all pretty much shoot the same. So for a real true beginner, a novice, I guess you should say, a striker fired weapon is great. But if you're getting more into an intermediate level, I would highly recommending transitioning, or at least buying a double action, single action firearm, because one, it kind of freshens up your interest in guns, because now not only do you have to relearn new shooting fundamentals or reinforce your shooting fundamentals in case you created bad habits with the striker fired weapon, but now you also get to learn how to use another weapon system, learning to cock the hammer back, decocking, cocking the hammer back, and doing, I don't even know what to call that, riding the hammer forward, I guess. Learning how to shoot cocked and locked, going from single action with the safety on and then just taking the safety off, and then just decocking in general and reholstering and all that stuff, learning to put your thumb in the back, which is actually kind of interesting because since I've gone to hammer fired weapons, I do that with the shield too. When I go to reholster the shield, for whatever reason, I instinctively do this now. It's dumb and there's no purpose to it. I know for Glocks there's an actual purpose to it. If you buy that backplate that pushes out and then you turn your Glock into that one safety method here, that hammer fire weapons are really known for. And basically, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Is that if you are struggling to improve with your striker fired handguns, especially your full size ones, and you just really don't know how to do it without just sitting there like trying to beat a rock with a hammer or with a pickaxe or whatever, you know, switch platforms, right? Go to a revolver, go to a double action, single action weapon, go buy yourself a 1911, and that will, well, maybe not the 1911 because you don't want to make shooting easier, you want to make shooting harder. So with that being said, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a question down below, and like, subscribe, share, all that trash. Basically, the too long didn't watch is, if you want to get better at shooting a striker fired pistol, buy a different pistol, specifically a hammer fired pistol or a hammer fired revolver, practice on that for a while, and then go back and be amazed by the improved results. Because if you can shoot this gun well, you can shoot this gun extraordinarily better, at least in my opinion. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.